Hey everyone, welcome back. For those of you that are new, my name is Melissa and I just want to welcome you to Vlogmas 2020. This video is about books for tween or teen girls that I think you will absolutely love. Some of these are ones that Chloe has read before, some of them she's getting for Christmas, and some of them are in the wish list that I have on Amazon to get her in the future. Like I said yesterday in the one that I did for boys, which if you haven't seen that yet, I will link it down below. There is a section in Amazon where you can go and it has all kinds of books recommended by teachers. It's actually called Teacher Picks, and it has a link on it from kindergarten to 8th grade. They're individual links, but you can click on the grade level and it will just list hundreds of books that have been recommended by teachers across the country and probably world. So I will link that down below. I accidentally stumbled upon that and it's been amazing because they are all very highly rated books, 80 and above %. And it has just been wonderful to find. So I'm not gonna chatter anymore. I'm gonna do the same type of deal that I did yesterday in the boys book review. I'm gonna put the book on the side and then I'm just gonna read the description because I feel like that is the best way to tell you what the book is about without me trying to come up with some ramble of what this book is that I've never even read before. So let me share with you these amazing books. So first of all, I don't remember if I said before, but Chloe is 12, she's in the 6th grade, and so that just kind of gives you an idea of her age and grade level. Again, some of these books can go a couple years older, a year younger. It just kind of depends on the reading level of your child or sometimes the maturity level. Chloe really likes stories, like real life stories about war, about the Holocaust, things like that. And so there'll be a few of those in here as well. So again, that kind of goes to the maturity level. I am somebody who is pretty conservative on what I let my kids watch, listen to, and read. So please know that these books that I'm going to be sharing with you are coming from a pretty conservative mama. The first book is Turning 15 on the Road to Freedom, My Story of the 1965 Selma Voting Rights March by Linda Blackman Lowry. I am really excited about this book. I'm not gonna share every one that I'm getting Chloe, just because, like I've said in my videos in the past, my kids watch my videos, some of their friends watch my videos, and so I don't want to give away any secrets or keep them from, not being able to watch something. But this one I did get Chloe this year, and I am excited about it. I think it goes along with kind of where our world is as far as voting right now, and just the responsibility that one has when they're able to vote, but yet also gives a look back at a time in history where, that wasn't offered to everyone. And so I'm really excited to share this book with her. A memoir of the civil rights movement from one of its youngest heroes, now in paperback with an all-new discussion guide. As the youngest marcher in the 1965 Voting Rights March from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama, Linda Blackman Lowry proved that young adults can be heroes. Jailed 11 times before her 15th birthday, Lowry fought alongside Martin Luther King Jr. for the rights of African Americans. In this memoir, she shows today's young readers what it means to fight nonviolently, even when the police are using violence, as in the Bloody Sunday protest, and how it felt to be part of changing American history. Straightforward and inspiring, this beautifully illustrated memoir brings readers into the middle of the civil rights movement, complementing Common Core classroom learning and bringing history alive for young readers. The next one is Almost Home by Joan Bauer. Chloe loves animals, especially dogs, and so I just thought that this was a super cute one. When 12-year-old Sugar's grandfather dies and her gambling father takes off yet again, Sugar and her mother lose their home in Missouri. They head to Chicago for a fresh start, only to discover that fresh starts aren't so easy to come by for the homeless. Nevertheless, Sugar's mother has taught her to be grateful no matter what, so Sugar does her best. With the help of a rescue dog, Shush, a foster family, a supportive teacher, a love of poetry, and her own grace and good humor, Sugar comes to understand that while she can't control the hand that life deals her, she can control how she responds. I just loved the message of this one. Again, I think this hits to where we are right now in the world. Life can hand you all kinds of stuff, regardless if you are 12 or 41. You don't get to choose what cards you are dealt, but you do get to choose how you play the cards. And for Sam and I, that is something that we try to instill and push on our kids, is no matter where you are, you have the choice to choose joy. You have the choice to choose love. You have the choice to choose right over wrong. And that is so huge to us. And so just the storyline of this book sounds so great in that this girl didn't choose to be homeless, but she gets to choose how she reacts to it and how she grows from it and changes from it. So I think that this is going to be a super great book. Next is Song for a Whale by Lynn Kelly. In the spirit of modern day classics like Fish in a Tree and Counting by Sevens comes the Schneider Family Book Award winning story of a deaf girl's connection to a whale whose song can't be heard by the species and the journey she takes to help him. From fixing the classroom computer to repairing old radios, 12-year-old Iris is a tech genius. But she's the only deaf person in her school, so people often treat her like she's not very smart. If you've ever felt like no one was listening to you, then you know how hard that can be. When she learns about Blue 55, a real whale who is unable to speak to other whales, Iris understands how he must feel. Then she has an idea. She should invent a way to sing to him. But he's 3,000 miles away. How will she play her song for him? Full of heart and poignancy, this affecting story by sign language interpreter Lynn Kelly shows how a little determination can make big waves. I am super excited about this book. Anytime that I can find books that kind of talk about kids with challenges, disabilities, I am all for it. For those of you who have followed me for very long, you know that I have a sister who is mentally handicapped. And so anytime that we can have a discussion or that they can read about someone else who God made just a little bit differently, and in our house, different is more special. And I just think that this book is going to be great because it talks about, number one, a girl, which she can relate to. This girl is about her age in this book, which again is very relatable. And Chloe loves dolphins and whales and all of the things, you know, that kind of encompasses the ocean. And so I just thought that this would be a super great book for her to read. Next is From the Desk of Zoe Washington by Janae Marks. Zoe Washington isn't sure what to write. What does the girl say to the father she's never met, hadn't heard from until this letter arrived on her 12th birthday, and who's been in prison for a terrible crime, a crime he says he never committed? Could Marcus really be innocent? Zoe is determined to uncover the truth, even if it means hiding his letters and her investigation from the rest of her family. Everyone else thinks that Zoe's just worrying about doing a good job at her bakery internship and proving to her parents that she's worthy of auditioning for Food Network's Kids Bake Challenge. But with bakery confections on one part of her mind and Marcus's conviction weighing heavily on the other, this is one recipe Zoe doesn't know how to balance. The only thing she knows to be true is that everyone lies. Next is Four Perfect Pebbles, a true story of the Holocaust by Lila Pearl and Marion Blumenthal-Lazen. Marion Blumenthal-Lazen's unforgettable and acclaimed memoir recalls the devastating years that shaped her childhood. Following Hitler's rise to power, the Blumenthal family, father, mother, Marion, and her brother Albert, were trapped in Nazi Germany. They managed eventually to get to Holland, but soon thereafter it was occupied by the Nazis. For the next 6.5 years, the Blumenthals were forced to live in refugee, transit, and prison camps, including Westbrock in Holland and Bergen-Belsen in Germany. before finally making it to the United States. Their story is one of horror and hardship, but it is also a story of courage, hope, and the will to survive. I've said before that Chloe loves reading books about war or things that have happened in America's past or the world's past that are true stories. She loves to read about the Holocaust. Because we are from German descent, she just loves to read about all of that. But I think this book I was super excited about because it's talking about how a young girl lived during that time and what she and her family had to go through. Again, something that can be relatable because it's, you know, from her eyes as a child, but yet on a level that isn't so scary that it's inappropriate for Chloe in her age and her understanding, but yet something that can give her an insight into something that she is so curious about. Next is Hidden Like Anne Frank by Marcel Prynne and Peter Henk Steen. Jap Sitters was only 8 years old when his mother cut the yellow stars off his clothes and sent him alone on a 15-mile walk to hide with relatives. It was a terrifying night, one he would never forget. Before the end of the war, he would hide in secret rooms and behind walls. He would suffer from hunger, sickness, and the looming threat of Nazi raids. But he would live. This is just one of the true stories told in Hidden Like Anne Frank, a collection of eye-opening first-person accounts that share the experience of going into hiding to escape the Holocaust. Some were just toddlers when they were hidden. Some were teenagers. Some hid with neighbors or family, while many were with complete strangers. But all know the pain of losing their homes, their families, even their own names. They describe the secret network that kept them safe, and they share the coincidences and close calls that made all the difference. Next is Night by Eli Weissel. Night is Eli Weissel's masterpiece, a candid, horrific, and deeply poignant autobiographical account of his survival as a teenager in the Nazi death camps. This new translation by Marion Weissel, Eli's wife and frequent translator, presents this seminal memoir in the language and spirit truest to the author's original intent. And in a substantive new preface, Eli reflects on the enduring importance of Night and his lifelong passionate dedication to ensuring that the world never forgets men's capacity for inhumanity to man. Night offers much more than a litany of the daily terrors, everyday perversions, and rampant sadism at Auschwitz and Buchenwald. It also eloquently addresses many of the philosophical as well as personal questions implicit in any serious consideration of what the Holocaust was, what it meant, and what its legacy is and will be. Last is Courageous World Changers, 50 True Stories of Daring Women of God by Shirley Redmond. I mentioned a book like this in my video for books for boys from this same author, but it had to do with men. This one is talking about 50 different women who dare to do things because of, you know, their love for God, their faith. And so I'm really excited to share this one with you guys as well. Meet women who have used their God-given talents to live out their faith to the fullest. They come from a variety of backgrounds, eras, and ethnicities, but each one has answered the Lord's call on their life in bold and innovative ways. Children of all ages will be inspired by the true stories of Corrie ten Boom, activist, author, and Holocaust survivor; Lori Hernandez, gymnast who won both gold and silver medals in her sport; Florence Nightingale, healthcare reformer; Madeleine L'Engle, author of children's literature; Mother Teresa, missionary and winner of the Nobel Peace Prize. These and the 45 other female spiritual role models featured in this book have made a profound impact on the world around them and in many cases changed the course of history. Strong, smart, and sometimes outspoken, these women are tremendous examples of God's love in action. These inspiring profiles will captivate kids' imaginations and encourage them to discover their own gifts and how they can use them to glorify God. I just think that this sounds like an amazing book. Now more than ever, we need to be teaching leadership. We need to be teaching courage. We need to be teaching what it looks like to be kind and loving, even when nobody else is watching. And so I think to just read different stories from other women in the past who have done amazing things, I think is just a great idea for a book, and I cannot wait to share this with Chloe. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that these are helpful for you. I always try to come up with different videos that I feel are going to help you. Again, I am in no way, nor is this channel a product pusher. This is the season for gifting, and I am all about intentional gifts. So please know that me doing these videos is only to help you and only to show you different ideas, because shopping for tweens and teens can be hard. If you are not yet subscribed to this channel, I would love it if you would join our community here. And if you click on that bell, that will notify you on your phone or computer every time I post a new video. That way you don't have to keep coming back looking for it and all of that. It will just automatically let you know. If you're not following along on Instagram, jump over there and join our community. I post every day Elf on the Shelf. So if you're looking for different ideas to do with your elves this holiday season, that is a great place to go. But aside from that, we would love to have you be a part of our community over there. I hope you're enjoying the video. If you are, please like the videos and share them if you want to. It just kind of helps me know that you guys like the content, and I can continue to create content like that. Otherwise, it just kind of tells me that, you know, people weren't really into it, and don't do a video like that again. So until next time, friends, just remember, what if equals fear, but even if equals faith. So be intentional about creating a life that you absolutely love, even if. I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.